Everyone, welcome back to the show. It's Dr. Neville Campbell, your host, and this is the Wellness Hustle podcast. Today we're recording and we have some amazing and exciting guests. Today we have one of those guests, Nicola Cummings. She's one of the leading attorneys here in Georgia. She focuses on personal injury, and when I tell you her story will move you, we will take it step by step. We will talk and see where this conversation takes us. But I feel like she has something to share, and there's someone out there who will likely benefit. Nicola, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr.
Of course. It's been a long time.
Absolutely.
And you don't mind if I switch up with some Jamaican here, do you?
I do not. The Guyanese may come out
There
too.
you go.
So this is a Caribbean vibe right now, Guyanese and Jamaican. So we're going to really chat. We're going to chat some chat, right?
That's right. We're going to talk some talk. We're going to line.
No worries. So, we've met it's been about a year and a half now, or a year now since we met, right?
Yeah.
And when I met you at first, didn't really know your background, didn't really know your roots. So today, I want folks to really just get an understanding of who you are. What brought you to law? What brought you to the States? How did this path happen? And ultimately, how did it bring you to where you are now?
Well, I always wanted to be a lawyer, right? That's one of the things they said that everybody says, I've always wanted to be a lawyer, so I went to law school. But I've always wanted to be a lawyer. Life took me down a different path. And I felt like God took me on that path specifically for a reason. Because when I said I want to be a lawyer, I also said I want to be something that no one else in the world is.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was a broke single mother in the projects in Brooklyn.
It's all right.
And life let me know that to get out of the projects, I had to do something. And I determined that something was education. I went to John Jay College of Criminal Justice.
Mm-hmm.
That was the inaugural year for forensic science. Now they're the premier school for forensic science. So I did a 1-year course on forensic science. And then I packed up my son and we moved to Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And when was this?
This was right after 9/11.
Okay. All right.
9/11 happened. I graduated in December. We packed up our truck in January and left, came to Gwinnett. I worked for Gwinnett County PD for almost 10 years doing forensic science as a crime scene investigator because they hired me due to that fact that I took
The forensic science. Yeah.
So then they taught me everything forensic science, how to investigate a crime, how to preserve evidence, collect evidence. They sent me to school to be a fingerprint expert.
Okay.
At some point, I became what's called a certified latent print examiner. So I'm a fingerprint expert. At some point, the federal government called me and said, can you teach our soldiers how to do that? They sent me to Iraq for a year and a half, teaching soldiers, military personnel, all how to forensically exploit improvised explosive devices, IED. And then I did the same thing in Afghanistan for a year and a half. And because I did that for 3 years and had 15 years of experience, the government's like, can you run our program of forensic science? I said, nope, I'm going to law school. I always wanted to go to law school, so this is my chance. This is the time where it feels right to make that life-changing moment. And so I did. And when I graduated law school, the entity that certifies us for forensic science said to me that I am now the only lawyer in the world that a certified latent print examiner and a fingerprint expert and a forensic scientist that they have.
Right.
And so God remembered that dream.
Right.
And I said, I want to be something in the world that no one else is.
Right.
That's where I am.
You know what? That's an amazing path. It sounds like you have really created something unique in your sort of navigation. And certainly, I can't say that it sounds like it was planned. It seemed like opportunities presented themselves. You were ready or you seized the moment, and then you went in that direction. Now, combining all of these sort of skill sets, and here you are now, do you feel like you're maximizing them both at this time, or all the skill sets, or do you think that there's more to be done? What is your thought on this?
I think that I am maximizing them. Well, right now we do, all things personal injury, car accident, trucking accident, all that good stuff. So what I do is use my forensic science background to investigate every accident that comes our way.
Mm.
So the analysis that I bring to this car accident, I don't think any other lawyer brings.
Gotcha.
We tend to get our cases resolved quickly because I forensically analyze it as though I'm investigating a crime scene.
Gotcha.
I go out to the car accident scene, review the pictures, see whatever else I can get from these pictures to show that my client was not at fault, how more severe the injury was than how it looks on paper, and how we can get the largest recovery for our client. I think that's the added benefit of being a forensic scientist prior to doing car accident investigation.
This sounds amazingly exciting. But I want to ask you, and this might come to you a little bit of a side sort of question, but with all this that you've gathered, sounds like it's pretty interesting, sort of focused but interesting scope. Do you have any plans to leaving any of this behind?
Leave any?
Any of this behind, passing this on? What does legacy look like for you?
Legacy looks like a 35-year-old son that I have. I cannot drag him into law school. He won't go. He's a chef, but he was my first paralegal. I taught him everything that the office does, and he knows what to do. So my goal for the future is to pass it on to him and some grandchildren, hopefully.
All right. Sounds like there's a plan there.
Yeah.
Now tell me about Georgia. You said you came to Georgia. You've been working here, but what kept you in Georgia?
Food, is that terrible for me to say? I mean, candy, jams, banana pudding. You know, I came to Georgia, visited my friend, had some banana pudding, and I was like, yep, this is my place. I'm a foodie, so food keeps me in Georgia.
But I'm sure food is in New York too. I mean, New York has some of the best Caribbean food now. Come on, talk to me.
They have the best Caribbean food. They have the best pizza. They don't have the best banana pudding.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna stay away from that one because I've never. You know what? Yeah.
This is the South. Came to the South for the food and stayed for the food. The weather, love the Atlanta weather, so I stay here.
So tell me about a case or a client that you believe that your representation might have changed the course of their life positively, and one that you might, and on the other hand, one that you might have done differently.
Okay. Well, let's talk about one where their life changed. So our mission statement is your strongest ally. It's not a tagline. It's not a slogan. It is the office culture. It is the way of life. I had a car accident many years ago, and I didn't understand what to do, where to go get help, things like that. So when I developed my firm, it became your strongest ally from collision to compensation. I believe an ally is someone who shows up when the emergency happens, stays and supports and helps during the emergency. And then after the emergency, you remember that person helped me so well that I appreciate that. And so that's what I wanted my firm to be for my clients, right? A place that they can know that when they're confused about a car accident, where do I go? Where do I get my car fixed? How do I get treated? What do I do next? How do I get this settlement? But that's ultimately the goal, to help their family. What do I do? So I trained my firm under that guise to be the strongest ally for the people who need it. I had one of my clients that I support, I think that really helped her, college student going through the light. She's driving her car, seated at the light like that, hands on 10 and 2, and an Uber driver slammed right into her as she is seated at the light, broke both arms. And this is a college student, so you know what they do, type, all this stuff. Yeah. It took us a few months, but we got her full policy limits recovery, a 7-digit number, because she had 2 broken arms. She's a college student, beautiful young lady. She is now off to doing her thing. She's graduating college. She's not going to medical school.
Oh, bless your heart.
Yes. So that was someone who I believe me absolutely helped and helped positively. And I will tell you this, that when I went to the mediation,
Mm-hmm.
the opposing counsel
Mm-hmm.
was very much, oh, so you were like 5'2" tall. You couldn't be that threatening.
Ah,
I said to him, I am here for my 7-figure check,
right.
and we're not leaving until you meet that number. And it was the day before Thanksgiving, and he said, let's order lunch. I said, there's no need to order lunch.
We're not here.
we ain't that long. And he thought I was absolutely crazy. And then he said, I'm going to give you $990,000. He just wouldn't give the 10.
Mhm.
And I said, well, I guess I'll see you in court.
Right.
And he gave me the 10 and we left.
You know what? It sounds like, there you have it, like, advocacy for the people that you're caring for, and truly having a passion for what you do. I really, really like that. That came across beautifully in the story that you just shared.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell me about another instant that might have gone in a direction that you didn't anticipate it to go in, and were there some lessons learned?
Lessons learned. I had another client. She came and picked up a rental. And on the way to a wedding, she came to visit Georgia for a wedding, was a family friend.
Mm-hmm.
And 20 years old, she's in the middle back seat of this rental without a seatbelt. Side impact. She goes straight through the center, the windshield, broke her uterus.
Oof.
20 years old, broke her uterus. My argument is you need to pay because she's 20 years old, she doesn't have any kids.
Mm.
We don't know if she will have kids.
Mm-hmm.
And the other side, their pushback was, no doctor has said she won't have kids. And I'm like, not good enough. So we're on litigation on that one.
Gotcha. Well, hope for the best. It definitely sounds like there is strong advocacy there, and based on what you explained earlier, it seems like you and your team will leave no stones unturned as you advocate for this young lady. Yeah.
Issue. I think that's the investigation and advocacy.
Gotcha. So let's talk about things that people oftentimes really don't talk too much about: adversity. For me, I've had a lot of adverse situations in my growth and development, whether it's physically, professionally, personally. And we oftentimes almost nonchalantly say, well, adversity makes us stronger. And they do. But sometimes when we're experiencing the adversity, it doesn't feel that way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It doesn't feel that way at all,
Yeah.
because that's the human side of us. Any memorable or unforgettable adversity that you've encountered, and how did you navigate?
I would say, in terms of that,
Professionally and personally, might I ask?
professionally, I think that every client that comes, right, they're searching for help. They're searching for someone to advocate for them, someone to say, how do I handle that? They're not looking for an accident attorney. They're looking for, I can't walk. How am I going to pay my bills? How do you help me navigate that?
Yeah.
Right. So I think from a general standpoint, it is helping people to navigate the challenges that come after the car accident, right? Do I have lost wages? How do I get my kids to back and forth to school now that I have to go to the doctor and my back is hurting or something like that? So from a general standpoint, I think the advocacy is what's necessary and what we try to do for every single client. From a personal standpoint, I don't want to make everyone sad, but from a personal standpoint, the office was started 8 years ago by my husband and I, and my husband died suddenly 3 months ago. So the office and I are going through some changes. but we're still using all of that momentum to help people. The advocacy hasn't stopped. My husband was a great PI lawyer, and we worked all of our cases together, right? So now with me working the case, advocating for our people, my client, my staff advocating for our client in the same way as he would want us to continue.
Wow.
Don't get sad.
I'm not even getting sad. I'm just thinking about, the energy and the strength to continue. After how many years of being together, and then after 8 years of building, what is a solid practice? I mean, I, know from a couple standpoint, my wife and I built our business. We talk about business even when the workers are not there. It's on the weekend. We're still doing business. We're going to bed. We may have a 1 hour conversation about something that needs to happen for the business. So business never stops, especially when we're together. Even when we're on vacation, we are still talking business. And so I can't now just imagine with who do you have the conversations with?
Mike's son.
Your son.
Right? Remember? Amen. Absolutely.
Amen.
Right? He was the one that my first paralegal, when my first employee left, I said, hey, I need someone to step in. He stepped in, I trained him. So now I said, okay, this is what's happening at the office. I need someone to talk to. And that's the legacy that you're talking
Amen.
about earlier.
Amen to that. Yep.
So that's my polar opposite, and that's my go-to.
Talk about resilience in a time like this. And it's still early, 3 months, that's still fairly new. It's certainly good to see a smile on your face.
Thank you.
And good to see a radiance about you nonetheless.
Thank you.
Pushing through despite the challenges that you might be going through. And certainly this is helpful. As the leader of the space, the leader in the office, all eyes are on you. You're the leader in the family. Absolutely. All eyes are on you. So, that superhuman strength and courage that no one knows where that comes from, you carry that burden right now, but carry it with grace.
I think that is my intention, to just carry it with grace.
Yes.
As well as I can, and keep providing for clients what they need, providing for my staff what they need, and to keep the business going. I know my husband will want me to keep it going.
Folks, there you have it. Nicola Cummings from the Cummings Law Firm. Nicola, can you tell these folks who you are again and where can they find you if they need to find you to get access to your services?
So I'm Attorney Nicola. Everyone calls me Attorney Nicola, not Attorney Cummings, and I'm fine with that. Attorney Nicola. We're in McDonough, Georgia. The phone number is easy to remember, 470-222-2222. So you can always call us at the number, and we're glad to help. We handle all cases in the state of Georgia, all personal injury cases.
Folks, you've heard it from the lady herself. Navigated adversities, navigated several different career professional pathways that God has strategically put in her way, helping her to get to the place where she sits right now, which is to advocate for you and your injuries. Based on the story she shared with me, I felt the passion coming across, and I'm sure once you've seen the episode, you too will feel the passion. Nicola, it was a pleasure having you today on the Wellness Hustle podcast.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Being here was a
Of
pleasure
course.
being here.
You don't know.
Big up.
Big up.
All right.